All right, so the last two videos, I introduced some basic rudiments for strumming, and those were on 4 strings, and those are really for subdividing the beat. So if you're doing something like eighth notes, it's this. Okay, so that's that taki subdivision. So if I combine that with the meter that I was doing in the second video, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, where I'm strumming a big 1 by strumming all the strings. If I combine those two, I'm still aiming to strum all the strings of the chord on 1, and then I'm subdividing using my, for example, the taki pattern. So I'll use taki. Taki, the way it works is if you do that one a 4/4 time, the way I'm going to show you, it gives you a feeling of eighth note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and because taki is loud soft, it gives you a natural feeling for the beat being louder than the and of the beat, which is a feeling you want to have at a beginner level with eighth notes. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just kind of a rock G and a C add 9. So that's the feeling, and again, that's based on taki, 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 taki. Except for the first ta, beat 1, I'm strumming all the strings. So 2, 3, 4. All right, I could do the same thing with my other subdivisions. I can do eighth notes with that taki and 3/4 time as well. So I could count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Taki, 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 taki. All right, I could do the same thing with 2, and now that would be taki, taki, taki. That's kind of fast. You might just do that on one chord. So you're strumming all on beat 1. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's a 2 feel. You can do the same thing with other subdivisions. You could do takadimi. Since eighth notes, you have 8 of them in a measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is 8 eighth notes. You could do takadimi twice, and that fits as well. So you could do this. You could takadimi. Let me do it right. Takadimi, takadimi, takadimi. So on the second one, because I'm not back to beat 1 yet, I'm just strumming the bottom 4 strings, and that's just something I do to feel 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do it right. 1, 2. And that's hypothetical. I wouldn't do it that way. The primary use would be doing eighth notes the way I described before. So the other application that we'll get into in another video is using takita, which is 3, in combination with taki to give you an eighth note syncopated pattern. So you'd have something like taki to taki to taki, taki to taki to taki, taki to taki to taki. All right, at a basic level, that's real good, just beginner syncopation. It's the same thing you get with some of the beginner strum patterns that people learn. So make sure you've watched the first video on the rudiments, because that's, you really need to taki to taki to taki to taki to, and be down with taki, 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 taki. That's 3, 3, 3, and then the second one's 2, 2, 2. And understand that the syncopated pattern is 3 plus 3 plus 2. That feels funny until you learn it, but it's very valuable.